What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be doing a video on power rankings for M4. I know it's a long shot since it's M4 is still a long way to go. Like, it's 2 months from now, I think. So these teams still have time to practice. But this power ranking will be based solely after their MPLI, right? All these teams. Even if they didn't participate during MPLI, we could still judge them based on what they showed in their specific region, right? So we're gonna start from top 16. It's gonna be 16 teams. We're gonna start from the bottom all the way to the top one on who I think will be like the powerhouse for M4. Right? No bias as well. Okay. So yeah, let's see. Let's see who's gonna go first for my top 16. In my opinion, it's gonna be Occupy Thrones or Thrones Esports from MPL MENA. All right. For the Middle East, I don't think they're a problem at all. Like I'm trying to base this power ranking based on the country's performance during M3 as well. So it's gonna be based off that as well. And during other M series like M1, M2, M3, how I felt about these regions, and I feel like MPL MENA, even though they have their own MPL, I'm not convinced at all. I'm not convinced with their performance, with how they play. So they're gonna go top 16 for me. Hopefully that's understandable for you guys. All right. So for the next one, we have Malvinas Gaming. All right. I believe they are from Liga Latam, Latin America. So for me, since I have played or practiced during M1, the South American countries, they are not, I wouldn't say they're not that good. They are not as mechanically gifted, I would say, as Europe and NA. So that's why they're gonna go down here on top 15 for Malvinas Gaming. I believe they also qualified for M3, right? And I didn't see much. I didn't see anything special. To be honest, the ones that I saw that had quite some potential were, of course, at the time BTK and of course Red Canids. I believe Red Canids was like a semi blacklist from South America, so it was kind of weird going against them during scrims. So hopefully this makes sense. Malvinas Gaming on top 15. Here we go. For top 14, I have S11 Gaming. So Malvinas is actually the first runner-up from Latin America, and S11 Gaming from Argentina, they're gonna be the champions from Latin America, right? So they won against Malvinas Gaming, so it's only fair for me to rank them higher than Malvinas Gaming, right? They're gonna stick next to each other. These guys are top 14, okay? So for the next one, it's actually RQ Akira from Brazil. I believe this is the old Keyed Stars, I believe, roster that became RRQ recently after M3. So I am still not convinced as well with their performance. They dominated the region. Yes, sure. They dominated the region. But in my experience personally, because we've gone against DreamMax and Geo during like M1, which was a while back, I would say. But like I said before the video started, I was basing all this power ranking based off their performance in their previous M series as well, M1, M2, M3, right? So that's how I based it off. So they're gonna go down to top 13 for RQ Akira, right? They're not bad at all though. They're not. They have some venom or Lassen factor, you would say. We'll see. We'll see what they'll show us during M4. Hopefully they prove me wrong and they can go a lot further. All right. Let's see what they'll show us during M4. For the next one, this is Incendio Supremacy. So this is the team from, I believe, Turkey, and based off my personal experience as well, Turkey is actually pretty damn good mechanically and macro wise. Yeah, they have a weird play style. Because the old Turkey team that we faced, or that I know at least, was Team Evil, I believe, during M1. And then I'm just kind of basing it off that. their region is gonna go down here. Like they're better than Brazil and they're better than Latin America. They're better than MENA. That in my opinion, Turkey, right? This is like Europe, around Europe, right? Around Europe area. So they're gonna go up here. I believe there's no Russia in M4, so Turkey is gonna be the only one there. They're gonna go top 13. I think we're at 13. I forgot. I'm not even gonna say the number anymore. But next we have MDH Esports. So why all of a sudden I put Vietnam over Turkey, MENA, Latin America, and Brazil? Even though they weren't there for M3, I believe they weren't there for M3. But these guys, Vietnam, in general, Vietnam was there for M1, and then after M1, there was a really good team. I forgot their team name, but before during M1 it was VEC Fantasy Main, right? VEC Fantasy Main, and then they renamed their squad after that. I'm not sure if these guys are the same guys or if they still play. I'm not quite sure, but based off their performance during M1, and just the region in general with how they develop, and just basing it off how they play the other MOBA games as well, I would say Vietnam has some venom lasting factor for M4. These guys could be a possible dark horse. You don't know what they're gonna be up to. And even in NA, actually, like just in general, I know some Vietnamese people that are really, really good at the game and are really smart at approaching the game. They are kind of like Koreans. Hopefully it's not stereotypical or not stereotype, but they're kind of like Koreans, where Koreans are really good at mobile games, or just in games in general, Koreans. Yeah, when it comes to MOBA. I believe for the other MOBA games, they're really good. I don't want to mention the names of those other MOBA games, but yeah, let's move on. For the next one, we have Burn X Flash, right? Burn X Flash, I think we're around top 12, top 11, or top 10. I forgot. We're somewhere there. I kind of lost track. Okay, so for Burn X Flash, we had a chance on scrimming them as well. Hopefully no disrespect to Zico and Hessa, even though we have some Filipino imports there. With the way they played, especially during MPLI, it's not bad. I think their main problem was the jungler that couldn't retry, because they played a different jungler. And I did hear that Mpli the King might play for Burn X Flash during M4. So maybe if Mpli the King plays for them, they could go up a little bit higher in the power rankings, I would say. A little bit higher in the power rankings. But definitely has some potential here and there. They're not bad. Definitely better than the non-MPL regions. Most non-MPL regions. Alright, so yeah, let's move on. Next one is RSGSG. We also had a chance to scrim against these guys. And this is just how I felt. They were kind of similar. RSGSG is kind of similar to what Burn X Flash had to offer when it comes to scrimming with them. So yeah, that's how I based it off. And also on their MPLI experience, it's kind of underwhelming. They didn't do too well, I would say. They didn't do too well. Because based off my personal experience, there is, how there's like 3 RSGs, right? RSG SG, RSG MY, and RSG PH. Right? For me, the strongest one out of all those RSG is RSG PH. The second one is RSG MY, and then the third is RSG SG. It's the last, which is quite weird because RSG SG is like their main headquarters or their main team, I would say, or yeah, that's where they started. So this is where I think they sit. Hopefully they could prove me wrong as well, because they had some scrims against us like a really long time ago where they gave us some trouble. But recently, I don't really see them as a problem in the current M4 power rankings. So hopefully they can improve using these next 2 months and prove me wrong. Alright, so for next one, we have Team Hack. Alright, Team Hack. Also, they have Min and Man, the twins, right? So they're pretty good. I didn't expect them to win MPL Malaysia, to be honest with you, because we had a chance to scrim against these guys as well. And based off their performance, it wasn't anything special. It was just okay. It was just alright. Like, you know what I mean? It's not a team where it's gonna be a top contender for M4, I would say. So yeah, this is where they belong, and their MPLI performance will be the cause of this as well, right? Even though they're the champions for MPLMY. Because Todak is higher, obviously, since I mentioned these guys first. Todak is gonna be higher than them. For the next one, we have the Valley, right? So what is the reason for me putting the Valley here in, I think, top 7 or 6? We're at 7 or 6. The reason why is because of their M3 performance, right? Zane, Shark, and Chicken, they already have world experience. M3, right? They got top 3. That's pretty darn good for a non-MPL region. Basic has already has performance in the MPL PH. He qualified for MPL PH just by playing the qualifiers here and staying here for 1 month. You know how hard it is to qualify for MPL PH? There are some players that tried 3 qualifiers and failed, where Basic only tried it once the first time and made it, right? So he has experience as well on the stage. As for Hoon, he might not have experience in MPL, but he has experience in the world stage for another game. I don't want to mention that game, but hopefully you guys know. Immortals Hoon, right? So he's backing out. He's originally an ML player that turned into the other game and got into Worlds for Immortals, alright? So that's, he was supposed to be there in M1, but we had some problems, alright? We had some problems, so that's why he couldn't come. So now he could probably, I believe he could go now. So I'm actually quite happy that Hoon can finally show his potential and his gameplay in the world stage for ML, because he's really good. This guy, like when I used to play with him, when I used to go against him as well, when I was in NA server, he's like the prodigy of NA, pretty much, in terms of mechanics. These two right here, the 2 prodigies of NA, or I don't even know how old they are, but they were like the top players in NA at the time. Okay, so yeah, moving on to the next one. They are a dark horse for the tournament, I would say. You don't know how far they'll go. Hopefully they can adjust when they boot camp in Southeast Asia. For the next one, we have Falcon Esports, Myanmar, right? I still think Myanmar is a very solid region when it comes to ML. Plus, including Coach Dale, right? Extra firepower when it comes to drafting. These guys have always been good. When they showed us during MSC that they have what it takes, right, to be a contender in the world stage or in the international stage. So that's why I believe they fall down here. I think this is top 5 or 4, I forgot. So yeah, they truly deserve it. These guys, really good. So next one, we have Todak, right? I still think Malaysia is a stronger region than Myanmar, especially these guys. The way these guys draft is quite unorthodox, and if you let their gameplay get to you, they will destroy you, because their gameplay is weird. Their drafting is weird, and their gameplay is weird. Right? That's what's so hard about going against Todak. Like, how are you gonna scout them? You don't know where this hero is gonna go. They flex so much heroes, and they do some really weird stuff. They're kind of like an Aura Fire of Malaysia, if I could describe them. Aura Fire of Malaysia in a way. All right, so I still think they are gonna be higher than Team Hack, even though they only got runner-up in MPL Malaysia. Only because they did a lot better in MPLI. They showed up in MPLI. Alright? So yeah, let's move on. Next one, top 3, I believe, is RRQ Hoshi. So recently I saw a tournament on Presidente Piala. I forgot. President Piala. I forgot what it's called, but something like that. It's like a qualifier for IASF in Indo. And they lost to I believe it was Bigatron MDL team. Yeah, I believe it was Bigatron MDL team, or it was an MDL team. I don't know. I forgot what it was. So that really made me think, like, are these guys ready for M4? I mean, it's 2 months from now, but I still believe they could, they could push through it. They have Coach Arcadia as their head coach now. They still have R7, arguably one of the best XP laners in the world. Albert, arguably one of the best junglers in the world, right? Skylar, one of the best gold laners in the world. They're a powerhouse still, I would say, even though they didn't show up in that IESF qualifier, whatever that may be. Okay, So this is where they stand. I think it was top 4. Yeah, this is top 4, I believe. For the next one, we have Echo. Okay. Yes, they didn't do too well during MPLI, but I still think they are gonna be a top contender for M4. Okay, I still think that way because Evos is no joke. People are thinking that Evos is like a top 7, top 8 team in Indo. That was not the same roster that got top 7 or top 8. That roster, I believe, for the Evos Legends that played for MPLI is very strong, guys. They're really strong. They're no joke. Okay, they are no joke. We've also had a chance to scrim against them, and yeah, they're very close games against Evos Legends. All right. Yeah, I think they would do better with Dilar on the roster rather than Seikots, in my opinion, right? In my opinion, but it's up to Coach Zace what he would do. Seikots is not too bad as well. I think it's all down to chemistry and synergy at at the end of the day, and they know what happens behind the scenes. So I can't really decide for them. I could only share my opinion with you guys. But yeah, I think Echo goes to top 3. Okay, for me. Okay, moving on. We have Blacklist. All right, might be surprising for you guys. Their MPLI performance was quite underwhelming for me. Like they've said, Venus said, Y said on streams, and Coach Bon said on stream. People kept saying that they're really not trying because it's MPLI. That's not the case. I think they lost fair and square against Geek Fam. It was a surprise for all of us, and I guess they haven't adjusted just yet in the meta, right? Or during that time when MPLI happened, right? They're still really good. They are still a powerhouse. Nothing's gonna change that. I still think they're gonna go to the grand finals. They still have a chance at getting the back-to-back world title. I think, in my opinion, right? I'm just basing it solely based off the MPLI performance. That's why they go to top 2 for me, right? They're still very strong, so I'm looking forward to what they have to show us in M4, right? With the unorthodox picks, especially in the jungler side, like Valentina jungle. I don't even know if that's gonna be a thing anymore. Gwen jungle, and other things, right? Other things. Okay, moving on. We have Onyx, right? Onyx Indo. We scrim against these guys quite a lot as well, right? And they are a very tough team. And let me just give you guys an idea on how strong this team is, okay? So Blacklist, you guys know, has their own identity, right? The sustain identity where they, healers, utility type, that's Blacklist identity. For Onyx, they could do both. They could go utility, they could go assassin, they could do whatever the hell, because we scrim against these guys. They're good at both playstyles, and it's quite insane. I don't know how they do it. Right? They're the only team that could execute both playstyles really well. And a big factor is Kyrie. Kyrie is, I would say, is carrying so hard. He's the best jungler in the world right now. No arguments. I don't even want to argue with anybody. Kyrie is the best jungler in the world right now, for me. All right. And like I said, since they can execute both playstyles, I believe they deserve the top 1 in my power rankings. It's gonna be a close one against Blacklist and Onyx. Hopefully Echo could get up there as well and give a good fight against these guys and the other teams as well. Give these guys a good fight. Their MPLI roster was not their main roster. Imagine, that was not their main roster. Keyboy wasn't there, and what's his name wasn't there. I forgot the other one. Drian? Was it Drian? No, Drian played. I forgot. Keyboy and Sans. There you go. Keyboy and Sans were not there. That's their main lineup. Keyboy and Sans. That's their main roster. They played Samot and Drian, right? They played really well as well. Those 2 reserves, or I don't even know if they're gonna be reserves during M4, with what they showed during MPLI, they have a really good shot at getting the world championship. I believe. Like I said, this is an unbiased opinion on the power rankings. Hopefully nobody gets mad. Alright, hopefully nobody gets mad. And yeah, so yeah, that's my power rankings right there. Hopefully you guys agree with me. If you guys don't agree with me, comment down below in the comment section. That's fine. Share to me your own power rankings. Okay? And I'll respect your power rankings as well if you respect mine. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. And yeah, that'll be it. Peace.